Hey guys, how's it going, and welcome back for another strategy game spotlight video with the Terminator. Since Creative Assembly's announcement that Three Kingdoms is dead, I've been covering a variety of historical strategy games to quench our historical Total War thirst. So far, I've covered the independently developed Manor Lords with its picturesque landscapes, very promising town building and management mechanics, and Total War style battles, as well as Knights of Honor 2, a medieval real-time grand strategy that combines brilliant empire management with semi-Total War-like battles. This week, I'll be covering 0 AD, a real-time strategy game for PC that puts the player in the height of early civilization to essentially start from scratch with a handful of villagers to build an empire through resource gathering, city building, and of course, all-out war. Initially developed as a mod for Age of Empires 2, 0 AD evolved into its own game on its very own game engine Pyrogenesis, and believe it or not, has been in constant development for over 15 years. It's an indie-developed game by Wildfire Games, and it is free to play, so you can go on play0ad.com right now and try it for yourselves. As the player, you set out to build one of 12 available civilizations. By gathering resources you need to feed your population, extracting the materials you need to build your houses, temples, and other buildings, and growing your community until you meet other cultures to go on all-out Age of Empires-like war. Currently, the 12 factions available are the mighty Carthage, the Celtic tribes with Britons and Gauls, the Hellenic states with Macedon, Sparta, and Athens, the Iberian tribes, the Mauryan Empire, the Persian Empire, the Roman Republic, and the successor states of Egypt, the Seleucids, and the Macedonians. Whether you're a Total War fan or an Age of Empires fan, these factions alone should be enough incentive to give the game a try, and the real kicker is we'll be getting more factions in the future as well. Each civilization comes with their own set of unique buildings, technologies, recruitable soldiers, unique wonders, and bonuses like excellent land trade or superior naval units. And it's all grounded on historical accuracy, so while some of these cultures may not have existed at exactly the same time, everything looks and feels authentic. Buildings that would have looked as they did back then, or weapons or ships, all to make the gameplay feel as historically authentic as possible. From the start of the game, you have a handful of villagers and citizen soldiers. You get some resources to build your starting buildings, and you're surrounded by a shroud of darkness. You must gather local resources to develop your village, support your population, and begin building your military to meet the enemy civs on the map. Like AoE, you have different eras ranging from the village to town to city, and you can gain more territory with your main settlement buildings, and you must defeat other civilizations to finally win the game. There is no doubt that 0 AD is the quintessential Age of Empires offshoot, but what sets it apart so well is the vast amount of attention to detail from a historical accuracy perspective, as well as the various mechanics that really make playing the game so engaging. From being able to order unit formations like the Testudo or the Deadly Phalanx, to how the Temple of Jupiter, a wonder in the Roman faction, looks as it would have been in real life. Everything feels so well done and brilliantly designed. You get extensive technology trees that give you a choice in some cases of 2 in one tier, a large variety of units for each faction that are unique in character as well as looks, loads of different buildings, fantastic maps, engaging naval warfare, and so much more. It all just comes together so well to give the player a really unique gameplay experience. It has to be said, one of my favorite aspects of the game is how much detail has gone into battle mechanics. It's not just a rock, paper, scissors, archer, counter infantry, spearman, counter cavalry, etc. Many units have unique bonuses against others, and many units are better at exerting crushing damage or hacking or piercing damage, which is just brilliant. It really forces the player to think about the types of units the enemy will field in battle to choose what units will be most effective against them. And of course, over time, with new eras unlocked, you get bigger, better units, more unique and powerful buildings, and even expensive recruitable champions that can lead the charge in battle. Overall, though, the game goes back to that historical authenticity, which is just so impressive to see. Every building you build has some original source material it's based on. Every technology tree is unique to each faction as they would have evolved over time to develop them, and every map you play on is based on what vegetation would have been like, what kind of animals or terrain structure would have been most present. It's so beautifully done, and this alone is a key reason why people should try this game out. Lots of work has gone into making the game have online multiplayer, and not only that, but for cross-compatible multiplayer, which is just awesome. For an indie-developed game of this scale to have this available is just such a great thing, so kudos to Wildfire Games for making it happen in the alpha phase. The game also has a thriving modding community, as the devs have made the game open source. So far, this has led to 39 fantastic mods that enhance the visuals, add new maps, new factions, or battle rebalancing, all to make the game even better than it currently is, which is so good to see. Of the mods available so far, I would highly recommend Delenda Est, which adds the 4th era phase Empire, as well as new civilizations like the Scythians or the Huns, new buildings, units, and so much more. It also has plans to add loads more factions as well, including Germanics or the Han Chinese. And finally, it's worth noting that the devs have just released the 25th alpha version of the game, adding better pathfinding for units, brand new maps and biomes, lovely graphical improvements like better textures and new graphics options, and more, so it's absolutely still getting a lot of attention and work. We don't have an official release date just yet, as various elements of the game are still being improved on, but the 25th version of the alpha just released, so I think it's safe to say we could see the game evolving into the next phase in the near future. And that's it for today, guys. Zero AD is a free-to-play, independently developed RTS that really puts out all the stops from historical detail for really engaging real-time strategy gameplay that I cannot recommend enough. As I've said, you can find out more about the game on its website playzeroad.com, including the history of the game, tutorials for various mechanics, detailed overviews of the factions, and of course how to download the game for free. I really hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and found it informative. If you did, give the video a like and absolutely drop your thoughts and questions in the comment section below. What do you think about Zero AD so far? Definitely subscribe to the channel for more strategy content, gameplay, and news like this, especially if you'd like to see more spotlights. And thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.